Hello everyone, welcome to Biology Department. In today's Biology Practical, we will study about the human brain and its various functions. Dear student, you are welcome in Abeda Inamdar Junior College Biology Lab. Let us get started. Today we will study about the human brain and its function with the help of model, charts, photographs and the specimens. This is the human brain model which is available in our lab. Student, today's practical study of the human brain and its different functions. It will be asked in your HSC board practical examination for question number 4, that is the spotting question. For H spot, this specimen will be kept or the model will be kept or the picture will be kept for the identification. This spot will carry 1 mark. The half mark, it is for the identification of the brain part. One or the two brain part will be the asked, and the half mark for the function or for the comment of the brain part. One or the two part of the brain will be marked or labeled as A and B. So that A and B you have to identify. The brain part A and the brain part B you have to identify and you have to comment on that. Student, this is your practical notebook, page number 129, on which lateral view of the brain it is given along with its important parts. Student, let us focus on the structure of the human brain. The structure of the human brain externally, it looks like walnut. Walnut, it also shows the wrinkle-like structure. Same wrinkle-like structure, it is also observed on the surface of the brain. The human brain, it is divided into 3 regions: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain, it is uppermost part of the brain, which includes 3 regions: olfactory lobes, cerebrum, and diencephalon. The growth of the cerebrum, it is about 85%. It covers almost all olfactory lobes. The surface of the cerebrum has the wrinkles. These wrinkles in which the gyri and the sulci structure is present. The gyri, it is the elevated part, while the furrows, these are the deep grooves are present. Some grooves, they are very deep, those are called as the fissures. So in this diagram, you can see the gyri as well as the sulci. Gyri, it is the foldings which is present on the cerebrum. This folding, it increases the surface area of the brain. This is the entire mass of cerebrum, which is divided into 2 halves, right and the left hemisphere, by one deep central fissure. The right and the left cerebral hemispheres of the cerebrum, it is connected by corpus callosum. It is a large C-shaped nerve fiber bundle which is present at the center of cerebrum. Student, in this picture we can see the different sulci and the fissures which is present in the human brain. Surface of the cerebral hemisphere contains many sulci, and because of that the mass of the cerebrum, it is divided into 4 lobes: frontal, parietal, occipital, and temporal lobe. In short, you can remember as TOPF, TOF. This is the short form: T for temporal, O for occipital, P for parietal and F for frontal. The frontal and the parietal lobe, they are separated by a sulcus called as central sulcus. This sulcus, it is the deep sulcus. They keep the frontal and the parietal lobe separated. Same way, between the parietal and the occipital lobe, there is also one sulcus is present called as parieto-occipital fissure. Between parietal and the temporal lobe, the lateral fissures are present. And that's why here all the lobes, it is kept separated. These are the lobes of the cerebrum. Frontal lobe present in the front side. Parietal lobe, it is present on the dorsal side. Occipital lobe present just behind the parietal lobe and just above the ear side, or above the ear we can find on the lateral side temporal lobes. The frontal lobe of the cerebrum, it controls all voluntary activities, which includes control of problem solving, intellectual activities, attention, judgment, behavior, and muscle movement. The temporal lobe, this is the lobe which controls the visual and auditory memory. Parietal lobe, it controls the pain, pressure, touch, visual reflexes. Occipital lobe, it controls in recognition of color, words, and the movements. Diencephalon, it is also a part of forebrain, which is present just below the cerebrum. It includes thalamus and the hypothalamus region. Hypothalamus, it gives one gland called pituitary gland, which is a master gland, which is a endocrine gland. The second part of the brain, it is a midbrain. It is present just above the hindbrain and which include crura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. Crura cerebri, these are the nerve bands which connect the midbrain with the hindbrain. Corpora quadrigemina, these are the four lobular structure. They control the movement of the head. Brainstem, it is formed by midbrain and the medulla oblongata. This is the stalk, or this is the axis which is useful to balance the cerebrum. Hindbrain, it is the last part of the brain. It is made up of three regions: cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum, it is the second largest part of the brain, where maximum neurons are present. Cerebellum has two hemispheres, like the cerebrum. Cerebellum is also called as the small brain. It also shows gyri and the sulci. It maintains the posture and the balance of our body. Pons, it is a band of nerve fiber which connect medulla oblongata with the cerebrum. So it forms a connection between hindbrain and the forebrain. Medulla oblongata, it is the last part of the hindbrain as well as it is the last part of the human brain also. It is very important region of the brain as it controls all involuntary activities, which include peristalsis, which is useful in the process of digestion, breathing, heartbeat, as well as it also controls reflex actions. No doubt, the spinal cord is also control reflex actions, but some reflex action, brain itself it control, which include coughing, sneezing, yawning, and vomiting. Student, please remember these important points. Hope you understood today's experiment. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for further updates.